Hey friends, this is David Bedrick, the UnShaming guy, I sometimes say in jest. I'm going to be doing an Instagram Live with a person, a person who I'm going to be working with. Hey, people, Sue and Katie Littman and more, and welcome. People, whole woman, and I can't say all your names, Dr. Wild, and otherwise I'll spend all the time saying names. Great to have you here. I'm going to be doing Instagram Live. I'll be working with someone, talking about unshaming, and then demonstrating. I say, why demonstrating? Well, the main reason to do demonstrating for me is when I went to graduate school and studied psychology, I didn't see my professors ever do what they were theorizing and talking to me and teaching to me about. And I promised myself that when I learned what I needed to learn, which was process-oriented psychology, later called process work, that I would demonstrate in front of people. And that means that sometimes it works out better than others, but it would be real. And if I had something to offer, it should be able to see it. So, may I translate your post, witness? Yes, you can. I'm not sure if I can do anything to help you do that, but you're welcome to do that. I'm going to have a person, Alan James Cook. I'm hoping he joins me. Alan, then you should request to join me, and I will bring you in a minute or two. What's unshaming? Lots of ways of saying things about that. On my linked tree, you can find something called The Anatomy of Shame. That's a free guide that'll give you other perspectives and more than I can give you right now. But thank you, Broccolian and Kate, and somebody's making a request to be in my video, but I'm looking for Alan James Cook. So if you're not that person, please remove your request. I'm looking for that person. Hopefully they're going to get on and are following me and I'm following them. We hope. Sometimes it doesn't happen. So what's unshaming? Unshaming is a viewpoint. I'm going to say it just one way. There's so many ways of saying it and worth saying lots of different ways. Hey, Kieran, I don't know if Alan James Cook is on. Maybe you can give him a little snoop somehow or see if there's something that needs to be done. I did follow him earlier, so that should be working. Unshaming is a viewpoint. It's an awareness process, a way of looking at someone. And that way of looking at someone sees intelligence. I'm putting that in quotes because I don't mean IQ. I mean a message, information inside our difficulties. So rather than pathologize, you have something wrong with you that needs to be healed, fixed, released, let go, developed. Rather than that, we think, oh, that thing that looks difficulty, that's creating the problems in your life, it is creating problems. We don't bypass that, but we use our trained, unshaming eyes to find out what its message is. Like it's an inner diversity issue. Something comes in, right? And it creates certain problems because the diversity of that thing is not welcomed. And then sometimes it gets easier and we get a message. It's a witnessing. An awareness, a witnessing. And why am I using the word witnessing? Because a part of me wants to say, now more than ever, we need witnesses. I don't know if it's more than ever. I want to say that because I'm a Jewish man in the midst of the hell, the inner hell, the outer hell, the people I love, the politics. I don't want to go into the politics right now because that'll take us to another spot, I promise. Oh, good. Thanks, Kieran. But from a unshaming perspective, what we need most is witnesses, right? Oh yes, it is recorded, and it will. All of the you go into my link tree, you'll find the link to YouTube, and I think all of the episodes is maybe 13, 14, 15. I can't remember. They're all available, and they're all available without cost. So you can study them, use them as a study guide. If you want to learn from me and taking another kind of program where finances limit you, you can do that. Excuse me. UnShaming says around the political scenes, the geopolitical wars and conflicts, that we need witnesses, people who can see the conflict, see what's happening, people who feel that their job and is calling is to see what's happening and to bear witness to what's happening in different ways. So we'll talk about that another time. I might even do a live later with Simone Soul. Some of you know her. We've been talking about doing a live on the Middle East agony, I'm going to call it, so I don't get into trouble at the moment. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm waiting. Oh, great. Hey, Drew and Drew. Oh my gosh. And Chrissy. Oh my gosh. How cool to see, to know that you're there. I miss you guys. Hey, Catherine, I'm waiting a moment, I think. Let me see if that person is here yet. No, they're not. So I'm just going to say a few more words. Hang in, friends. I'm going to just say a few words, and I promise we're going to get to the person. When I bring people on, for the most part, I've never met them before. They are vetted, meaning they know that this is not a therapy session, that they're not going to. It's a facilitated process work session. They're not going to have long-term therapy with me. They know it's live. They know, etc. All that is known. But I ask my person, Kieran, who vets people, don't tell me about what people want to bring up, because I like it to be in the moment, because I want my unshaming to hear things without any information. Does that make sense? You look at a flower with information, you see certain things. You look at a flower without any information, and your eyes have to just make the experience. You can't analyze and distance yourself from what's happening because you have information. Oh, Alan is here too. Oh, great. Okay, Alan. Alan, you gotta make a request to be in the video. Okay, I've joined, I hope. Alan, you've gotta, you're not on a Dr. Wild, you have to, maybe Kieran can help you. You have to request to be part. So take a look at the video, Alan, and there should be a way to request to be in the video. And once you make that request, there's somebody called Dr. Wild 1998. Is that you, Alan? I was assuming it would come up under your Alan Jacobs Cook. Hello, he's here. Where? Scarlett. Is that Dr. Wild? Is Dr. Wild the same as Alan? Maybe Kieran, you can tell me that if that's, because that's the only one I'm seeing as a request right now, is a Dr. Wild 1998. And if that's you, otherwise I'm Alan, here. Okay. So Kieran, you're saying here, but I'm only seeing a person called Dr. Wild 1998 as making a request. So he still has to make that request. Is that you, Alan? I see Alan James Cook, that should be you. Oh, trying to work out how to request. Okay. Oh, every time. So many times we have little difficulties. I'm sorry, friends. Please wait just a second. I promise it'll be good once we are able to do that. Somebody's able to make a request. So whoever you are that says, okay, thanks, Kieran. No, it's not. Whoever is named Dr. Wild, please remove that request, because I can't have you in the live video. It should be press plus. Somebody says press plus to choose. Hit the plus sign at the bottom. Then the video camera. Does that make sense, Alan? Hit the plus sign on your camera, and it's on the bottom. You'll see a plus sign on the camera, and then it should say, and whoever you are, Dr. Wild 1998, can you please remove? I'm staying, I'm not leaving. I love watching. Thank you, Catherine. Give me 1 more minute. Okay, I'm just gonna chat for a second while I keep my eyes on the video. Alan, on the bottom, you'll see, and it should be on the bottom of your phone. It should have a little plus sign and a camera. And then while we're waiting, how do you request on a desktop? I don't know. This is great. Thank you, friends. Just hang on for another minute. I'm going to wait. I'm going to just say a few things so that we're learning and we're making use of your time while, and I'll keep an eye on Alan, look at the screen. People are saying things. It's next to where you write the comments. You have a little comment section on the bottom of your phone thing. Are you using a phone? Then I'm on my laptop. Switch to the phone. Okay, great. He's switching to the phone. That's going to help. So what can we say about unshaming? Unshaming takes problems and sees them as caused, as healed by how we see things. Let me say it, this is an interesting way of looking at it. Okay, while we're here. So let's say this is me, right? That's me, and I'm having difficulties. That's gonna read backwards, right? So in any case, that's me, that's me, and I have difficulties. Now, most of us, oh great, Alan, I'm going to be right with you. I see you. Stay there. Stay there. Don't move. Most of us look at here's the past and here's the future. Okay? Past, present, future. And most of us, when we have problems, look to the past. What happened to me that caused my difficulty? What did I eat that gave me a stomach ache? What did I bump into that I got a bump in my leg? What did my father do that's causing me to be nervous today? And that's super useful and true. And we work on abuses and traumas. And when I teach people, I work on those. And it's great. It's super important. We must not forget about those things. And that's one part of unshaming. But the other part of unshaming that usually gets left out of traditional healing is, where am I headed? What is this difficulty doing to me to alchemize the authentic me? How am I cooking right in the midst of my hell the person I'm becoming, the person who's called to be David, the person who has a gift, the person who's supposed to walk a certain path? So traditional healing only focuses on the past as the cause of the pathology that causes my difficulty. That's why we say pathologizing, which can be shaming. And then unshaming says yes to that past, but also we're becoming someone. And this is pulling us. And therefore, our difficulties aren't only symptoms of a problem, my freezing, my fawning, my anxieties, my depressions, and all those. They are part of the stew of me that I'm cooking that pulls me into my future. And we want to see that when we unshame. Okay. That was a quick little lesson. Alan is there. Alan, I'm going to view your request and hopefully so needed. Looking forward empowers the person beyond shame and woundology. Yes, the wounds are important. And then Alan, yay, we did it, Alan!
Hello.
How did we do it? It's a miracle. I'm healed. All right, never mind. All right. I watched too many videos when I was a kid, you know. I love those when the people like came on stage and then somebody touched them and they fall over and, you know, and they get healed. I love that kind of stuff. You know? I'm not sure what was happening, but to me, the whole idea of it was cool. Alan, we've never met, I don't think. Have we met?
No, I don't think so. I've heard much about you from Kieran. All good. So looking forward to this.
Great. great. I don't know. Say something about yourself so I get to just a little framework, and then we'll jump into whatever you wanna. Where do you live, and what keeps you busy in the day and the night?
I'm based in Toronto. I moved here about 12 years ago from England, hence the accent. And I'm like an actor, sort of wannabe writer, bit of teaching background as well. So that's sort of professional stuff. And then, yeah, and so I just like to sort of keep creative and explore the city and hang out with friends, and that's my social life.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for joining. Not enough men, you know, that's my fault because I don't promote well enough to men. I'm not that I promote to women, but I just do me. But then more women and less people are doing like men's groups, then more women end up showing up to psychological things and healing things than men do. So I'm really glad to be seeing a person who looks like a man kind of person, to me at least, right? Is that how you see yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. I could call
For
it.
the most part, yeah.
I get that wrong sometimes because there's other non-binary forms, and I just want to respect that. What's on your mind or heart that I can try to help you with? And then one more thing, if you see my head like this, it's not because I want you to see my bald spot, but you're welcome to. It's because I'm making notes.
No problem.
And every so often you'll say things, and I will talk about what's happening because I want to teach. So you'll hear what I'm saying, obviously, but then I'll be talking to people who watch and people who will watch the video, and I'll be saying, this is why I'm doing this, etc. So it's a little different than if we were just meeting alone. I might not talk about why I'm doing what I'm doing unless you asked.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Sure.
Tell me what's on your mind, and we'll do our best. Yeah.
Yeah. I've only had like a quick time to think about this, but my sort of big obvious ones are I've got quite an active inner critic, which really manifests itself in procrastination, especially with if I'm trying to write something and be creative, writing especially.
Yes, I've heard
I
that.
end up having to like overwhelm myself, give myself too many options as far as that's concerned, and then I normally sort of just bloat all the things that I think I have to do, and then end up doing nothing, and that's my form of procrastination.
I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I hear you. Yeah, that's a great description. Yeah, writing. When you introduced yourself, I wrote writer wannabe because I heard. See, the way I listen, in my viewpoint, as what I do is UnShaming. What I hear is something that isn't quite, or that's problematic. And because you said it's a writer wannabe, that means something is not. That's a location. Something is happening or not happening in this thing called writer, in the writer world. So I just thought, so you're mentioning that again, the inner critic, and you bring up writing again. So I'm highlighting writing. Something about writing wants to be known. The inner critic issue, but something about writing should be helped out in addition to other things. That's how I'm thinking so far. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm listening to. Well, when I think about unshaming an inner critic, this is how I think. Do I call you Alan, by the way?
So that again, sorry?
Do I call you Alan? Is that right?
Yeah, Alan's great. Yeah.
Okay. So the way I think is we have to. Unshaming means we have to see it all. We have to not just treat you like you have a problem. We have to see it. And in order to work with an inner critic, we have to see the critic. We have to witness the inner critic. So here's one way of doing that. Let's imagine that I'm you. I'm Alan. And you are my inner critic.
Okay.
Make sense? It's like you're an actor. So you're gonna, and your job is to, at the moment, is to play that role only. Forget about Alan. I'm going to do Alan. And your job is to criticize me, cause me to procrastinate, put me in whatever you're going to do to me.
Okay.
Act it out. That means hear it and then amplify it. Make it into a role, like so it's theater, so we really get it. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Great.
So, well, you're probably not in the right mood yet to write, are you? So you have to make sure you get you just need to get yourself ready, and then you're probably just gonna take a couple of hours, because you normally do. You've normally sort of wasted a few hours anyway. So I suggest you'll probably just have to you'll do that again, but it's fine. We'll put it off until a little bit later, and then hopefully later you'll actually be in the mood where you can actually feel as if you're good about yourself. Because I know you can't write if you've got a tired mind, and you're tired now. You're trying to do other stuff, and you probably don't even know what script you want to be working on, do you? Right now. So, but we'll get to that. We'll, maybe you'll get a page done today. I don't know, but at the moment you're not inspired, are you? So don't worry about it.
Well, you have a lot of thoughts and assumptions about me. Maybe they're right or not. You stay in that role in our little mini theater. You have a lot of assumptions about me and feelings about me. Like maybe there's a little contempt. Maybe there's not very much faith in me. Can you say more about what your opinion of me is? Because I'm hearing it in your tone and your words. Come out with it. What you don't like me? You think I'm a loser? I want to hear it.
I think you're a bit of a loser, because you've been. I'd probably call you the great pretender. You've been pretending to want to do this for a long time. It's quite possible you just don't want to do it enough. Oh. And you've been told that you've had talent before, and that's all very well, but it's probably just gone to your head. And really, the crux of it is that whether you're talented or not, it doesn't matter. You're lazy, and you've always been lazy.
Whoa, that's your conclusion. I'm lazy. I've always been lazy. Yeah. I'm just taking that in. One thing, I'm outside of the role for a moment, Alan. As I listen to that, imagine being talked to that way, I start to get, I would call depressed. I don't mean like I should go on antidepressant, but I start to feel like the more you talk to me that way, the more I feel like, oh boy, I just want to like curl up somewhere, or I don't know what, or go eat some food, or whatever it's going to be, something other than hang out with you over there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I got it a little bit. We're going to switch now.
Okay.
I'm going to do that role, and then you see what happens to you. First, we'll see if you have words back, and then we're going to go into, then we'll do something more somatic. In other words, feel free to be Alan, say anything back to me. I'm going to be the critic.
Okay.
Because now we want to get to know an entire inner dialogue. There's an inner dialogue happening. One part is criticizing you. I got the sense of what that is. But now we need to hear what do you do with that? Maybe nothing. Maybe it just wipes over you and drowns you out, and nothing happens. But let's see what happens now. I'll be that critic.
Okay.
I have to be able to do that tone, which was so good that you did that. Well, take a couple of hours, Alan. You take, I don't know, you probably need a couple of hours. You're not really inspired now. So, 2 hours is not really a good idea, but that's what you're going to do anyway. So nothing is going to help. So you might as well just take the 2 hours. I've given up on you kind of, more or less. That's how I feel, because I just think you're kind of lazy, but whatever, do what you're going to do. You're probably not going to get any. I don't even think you really want to write anyway. What happens to you?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I feel drained, definitely feel drained after that. And it's, and I start to agree with it as well, which I don't want to. The agreeing with it definitely feels shitty, but
what do you agree with about it? What part of it do you agree with? Mm-hmm.
I think I agree, starting agreeing with, like, there's like the like you were saying earlier about we're looking at the past a lot, and but there's the pattern which obviously goes back into the past, and so my brain ends up looking at that as like just evidence to back up the negative criticism.
I see. Over here in this critic role, I have some evidence behind me. Come on, it's true. It does take 2 hours. You don't really do it, etc. So I built up a pretty good pack of evidence to use, backs up my viewpoint of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay. I want to try it. Now I'm going to do it one more time. And this time I want you to pay attention to your body feelings. Some people call that somatic experience. Your body feelings. And what happens to your body as I talk? Let it in. enough so you can feel your body and what it would do. Would your hands move? Would your body move? You can just study your body like you're just fascinated by everything that happens inside of you. Any feelings or anything your body would be inclined to do if it would move. You might want to flinch, you might, whatever. You might sink. Whatever you do is good.
Okay.
Okay? Your awareness is on your body and what's happening for you. Okay, here it comes. Pay attention to your body. Well, Alan, take a couple hours. That's what you're going to do anyway. Not that that's going to really help, because we know what's going to happen fundamentally. I don't even know if you really want to do this. What starts to happen?
I start to get more like a bit of a tightness around the chest, almost like a tightening around like the lips and the jaw a bit as well. So that's like unsaid stuff, but it's that's not coming out. But definitely it feels that, and
Great.
yeah,
You're doing great.
and just like there's the inclination, I think, just to sort of just come in a bit, make myself scrunch down, and posturally not so good.
Great. Can you feel that tightness in the chest and in the lips and jaw? Allow your lips and jaw to be tight and even a little bit tighter, unless it hurts you physically.
Okay.
We're going to help you go into, you're an actor, we're going to help you connect with, shape shift into the energy. That's what we're trying to do. So we're amplifying it so that you really connect with that energy. Tightness in the chest, tightness in the jaw, tightness in the lips, and let that scrunching happen even a little bit more. And the tightness, yeah, like that. I'm seeing it on your face. That's great. And let your eyes also be tight, like the way your jaw is. Mm-hmm. 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 Keep going as if you could even go a little further with the tightness, a little further with the jaw, a little further with the eyes, a little more scrunched, a little more with the lips. Mm-hmm. And forget about your normal way and let yourself be like this. Alan is not only one here right now. You are like this. Your job is to play the role of this way of being. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look out through those eyes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Even move a little bit with that tightness. Mm-hmm. 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 And if a sound were to go with that tightness in those lips and the jaw and your chest, what sound would come out of your mouth? You don't have to know. You can just try it.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. And give me that a few more times so I can hear it well. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see. I'm listening to you and I'm seeing you and you're here. What's it like being you? This one. I want to meet you. Who are you? Mm-hmm.
Just very heavy,
Mm-hmm.
very just just thick walls.
Thick walls.
Thick walls.
Great. Let that wall be thick. Allow yourself even to become a thick wall. A wall. You're just a thick wall. Tight wall, like a wall. Mm-hmm. And tell me what it's like to be a wall. If I could talk to a wall and I said, "Dear wall, what's it like being a wall?"
It's just no fun.
It's not fun. What is it like?
It's still. It's unmoving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, drab, grey,
Mm-hmm.
stony,
Yeah.
solid, and like, it feels like it should have use for
Yeah.
something.
Yes. I think it might have a use, but we don't know it yet. Can you stay in that solid gray, solid wall? And I'm going to say some of those same things to you, and let's see what the wall does. If you're a wall and I say these things to you, watch what it's like to be a wall when I talk to you. Tell me when you're ready. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, stay wall. Don't flip into your normal self. Stay wall. Well, Alan, I don't even know that you want to write anyway. You're kind of lazy. I mean, let's face it, it's not going to ever happen.
No,
What happened?
I'll just stay then.
Well, I think you should just give up. You might as well. I have plenty of evidence that it's not going to happen. Stay the wall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
You're going to give up then? You're going to do what I tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can just stay right here.
You're going to stay there. Well, usually when I talk to you, you get down and things like that, and you start procrastinating. How is it different for you now being a wall? It looks like you're just immovable. You're unmoved. Am I right?
Well, that's it. Yeah. That's what I'm solidified.
Uh-huh. Well, that doesn't feel. I don't feel as powerful when you're a wall as I did when you were Alan and you were agreeing with me at least. Now you're just sitting there looking back at me like I'm not having any impact on you at all.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel the wall is a better state than what I was.
It doesn't feel better.
No.
No. Uh-huh. What's useful about it at all?
It's honest.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's good to hear. Mm-hmm. Okay. Dear honest wall, tell me about Alan's desire to write. Does he want to or not? Be honest with me. Don't give me the evidence bullshit. Tell me what he really wants.
Yeah. He wants to write. He wants to explore. He wants to be. He wants to find and enjoy new ways of doing it.
No. Uh-huh.
And he wants to feel flow and feel movement.
Somebody thinks he doesn't even want to write. You disagree.
He's scared.
I understand that. It's important to know the difference between, stay with that. I just want to talk about it. If you get convinced that you don't want to, that's an annihilation, unless you really didn't want to, but you do. That's very important to me. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If I convince you that you don't really want to do it, you should give it up because you don't want to do it. If you get convinced of that, the whole project goes. If you get convinced, but if you say, no, I really want to, there's other things going on. Now I need to understand other things about you. Mm-hmm. You're scared. What else did you say was true? And you want to find different ways. What ways have you tried? What ways has Alan tried that are not his way? What are the different ways? Because I think Alan's trying to do the same way every time, and something in him says, no, I won't do it. A wall comes up. and he looks like procrastination. He's not going away. He's not going along with an old way. What's the old way?
He does it in the way that he thinks he's supposed to do it.
What way is that? Tell me about how he's supposed to do it, because we better find that out, because he's saying no. A wall comes up in him, you see, around that way, and you can't get past it. The wall is strong, it's solid, it doesn't move. If we continue trying to get him to do it the same old way, you'll get no result out of him. I guarantee it. Luckily,
he does it in a safe way, does it in the way he thinks he should be written. So you have the voices of others.
Yeah. Which others?
Other playwrights, other writers, other existing authors' words,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. He's trying to be something else. Something tries to get him to be something else, and his response is, I won't do it.
Yeah.
Basically, he doesn't move. Then we don't say, oh, I'm offering you the wrong way. Instead, I say, yeah, you don't want to write. You're a loser. You never really wanted to write. You'll never get it done anyway. You're just a procrastinator.
Yeah.
You see, I'm distinguishing for you and everyone. There's a shaming view. The shaming view doesn't understand you. It says you're a procrastinator, you're lazy, and you don't really want to write. And that's a bunch of shit that's laid on you. And part of you believes it. But the wall doesn't believe it. The wall says, I won't move. I'm unbudgeable. You can't move me. I don't like being this way, but I know, but I can be honest. I do want to write, and I want to write in other ways. Mm-hmm. That's a beginning of a resistance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's a beginning of resistance. No, you're not going to make me do it your way. If you can keep on trying to, you'll get nothing out of me. That's as strong as I can be, is to say you'll get nothing out of me. Now we need some new ways. That's really important about the wall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. How you doing so far? I'm learning now with you. Mm-hmm.
I'm learning too. This is great.
Isn't that fascinating? Mm-hmm. Somebody says you're a loser, lazy, procrastinating person who doesn't have enough desire. And somebody says, it's not true. You're trying to get me to be something I don't want to be. That's not really me, to do it the way other people. And when that happens, you'll get nothing out of me. I'll just sit here and look at you, but I'm going to move. I won't get my writing done, but I ain't going to do it your way. You're smiling when I say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recognition.
Say again?
It's recognition.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's very important to know. It's important to know where you're at. You see, otherwise we just lay shit on ourselves. I'm this, I'm that. And they're just a bunch of theories that somebody has evidence for, and they go in. And we take them in, we start believing it. We don't know what we're doing. Procrastination is not a word you should ever use again.
Okay.
It's hurtful. You can say, I don't know how to do it my way yet, and I am a kind of person who's unmoved, and I won't do it the wrong way. I got that. It's a force. I'm going to use my force to not bend into something I'm not. I'm going to find out my way. But it's not just because I'm a loser who's not interested and is lazy. It's because I have a strength in me to not do something somebody else's way. That's a power and a capacity. It has to be loved, appreciated inside you. Then we can take it further. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Otherwise, those other ideas will seep in. I call it annihilating. It'll make you think it's not even you. That's not so good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You are a writer. You're a frustrated writer, but you're a writer and you want to write. That's really clear. And how you do it, that's unknown. Other than there's a way of doing it that's not you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm. Let's go one more step. The next step is to figure out, to sort of dream together, what is that? How would Alan do it if he's not doing what he's expected, if he's not doing like other writers are doing it? How does he do it? We know he has an NO to some other way. We know he has a wall inside of him, and that's his deepest response. to being told is to put up a wall, smart wall, so far, really smart wall. Don't become something you're not. Be the writer you are. Mm-hmm. If you have a no to that, you have a no to becoming a writer that's not you, that's somebody else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's try this, Alan. I'm going to stay with the dialogue. I'm going to tell you to write in a certain way, and you disagree with me, because there is a disagreement in you. Let's see where that goes.
Okay.
Okay. You need to write like other writers write. Sit down, begin to write, find some writers you really like, and use their styles. Why not?
It's it never lasts. I can only imitate for so long. It just never lasts, and it's because there's something else that's stronger that needs to come out.
How do you know there's something strong that wants to come out?
Because it makes me feel awful when I do it the other way.
Wow. You know there's something strong in you. Sorry, I'm repeating that just as a technique. I'm just trying to get it, because something in you doesn't, it doesn't work.
The denial of it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts to do it the other way. And tell me about the pain of doing it the copying way, the imitating way.
It feels like I'm consistently but politely lying to myself.
Yeah. Where's the pain when you do it the wrong way, the other person's way, the way you think you should? What's the pain of doing that like? Feel it for a moment. I'm being lied to. I'm being asked. I've done it the way that's not me. Tell me about that pain of not being able to be your authentic voice, your true voice.
It feels slightly choked, slightly sort of deflated. It's like it's just not full. It's not ballsy. It's not loud if it wants to be. It's not. It doesn't. It's restricted in terms of it will stay in its pen rather than sort of go out and find and trust some strange sentence on the horizon or whatever that might be. But it's very much trying to please who I think might be reading it rather than pleasing me.
Yeah. It's not only an artist problem, but it's also like a very central artist problem. It happens for me too. I'll write something onto Instagram and a lot of people will like it. And some part of me thinks, well, try to make that one again. Right. And then I get depressed. I'm calling depressed meaning, right? Then I hate myself, so to speak, or I can't stand it. I want to tear my skin off. I want to walk away from the whole damn thing because it's so, well, that one got 10 gazillion likes. Do it again, David, Like I should jump through a fucking hoop. And something in me is like, I want to puke. But I have both parts. Something wants to try to make me do that, right? I get it. I understand why. I'm like, whatever, all the reasons. But luckily, something won't do it. Luckily, I feel sick. Luckily, I get a headache. Luckily, I feel like shit, right? Luckily.
Yeah.
In a sense, the authentic thing in the moment is the pain. That's why I'm asking about the pain. The true voice is pain. What comes up for me in that situation? Pain. The pain is real. It's really my pain. That's why I'm asking about the pain. You brought that up. I said, what happens? You said pain. And then you said, and then there's a choking off of a kind of a self-trust and a ballsiness.
Yeah.
That part. Mm-hmm. Let's see if we can take even one more step. I'm learning more now about that problem, and the unshaming helps open the door. I want to know what is the real thing, and then Alan says pain, and I think, well, his pain is real. I know that because he just told me it was congruent. It's painful. I'm like, okay, let's stay with the pain. That's why I stay with the pain. Now I'm navigating, I'm following you, finding out who you really are in your real voice, pain. And then I learn more about the pain, restricted, choked off. The ballsiness, the self-trust is choked off. Yeah. Let's see if we can take one more step. There's different ways of doing that, but let's stay with the same direction we're going. What would it be like? What has it been like at moments in your life when you're ballsy and self-trusting? Can you remember a moment or time? Maybe you were drunk, maybe it was for a year, maybe it was in a who knows what.
Yeah, ballsy, normally making someone laugh, or you feel flirty is ballsy. Yeah, it feels like you're amongst a good group of people.
Wow,
is normally want to feel ballsy.
That's important.
Or if I'm just in an environment, like sometimes when I was at university, and then there's an encouragement and a freedom to play.
Yeah,
and
that's really important.
Yeah,
that's really important. Things are telling me, I'm learning. This is how UnShaming works. And I don't have an answer for you. I don't think, no, trust yourself. I have to think, you are the leader in the UnShaming, and you're talking about people and environments. I didn't know you were going to say that. That's really important. That can make sense. You want to be in a different environment than that inner environment. And play, flirting, playing, those kinds of things come up in you. Play is a different way of being. I see. Ballsy has play in it. Flirting, playing, being with good people. It's got a whole different atmosphere in it. That's very helpful to me. Can you remember a time in your life? It could have been 30 years ago, could have been yesterday, when you felt you were with a good group of people, good environment, play, flirting. Conjure up a moment.
Well, early this year, I was acting in a play with a bunch of really good actors, and just in that rehearsal room, it was really good. Again, we all made each other laugh. We were all curious. We were encouraged to dig and find answers, and we were encouraged to find wrong answers and be able to discard them if we needed to. But
Beautiful.
just to have an output.
That's great.
Yeah.
You're starting.
My battery's going, so I've just got to switch positions and get a charger cable.
Yeah. So everybody, what we're learning, just I'm saying this for Alan and for others, what we're learning is the kind of, when I ask him about what it would be like to be more himself, he's talking about an atmosphere, you see. He's telling us that there's an inner atmosphere he says no to, he creates a wall, and then there's another atmosphere, digging in and acting and playing and finding answers and finding wrong answers. All of that energy, that's a whole different world to live in for writing. He's needing that world, so I'm getting that. And let's imagine that we're there, that you and I are actors. I guess I'm kind of one, but not exactly in the formal sense, but I'm going to act with you. Let's imagine we're actors and we're free, and we're going to find answers, and we're going to say wrong answers, and we're going to play, and we're going to make jokes and all kinds of stuff. Okay. Now we have to have a topic. The topic is going to be what kind of writer Alan is. That's the topic. Okay. So this guy Alan, what do you think? What's wrong for him? Let's create some wrong answers. I got an idea. Let's have somebody with a club batting him over the head, telling me he should be like James Baldwin. How about that? That could work, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I suppose if as long as if you bat him hard enough, then maybe some ideas will just pop out the brain, and it's
exactly. Just split his head open. That could be good. Keep going. What are some other wrong answers? What do you think?
We could strap him to the chair. Maybe, little straps in his eyes to make sure he doesn't wander from the screen. And that's right, all of that.
I like that. We need some ropes. We tie his left leg to the bottom of the chair, his right leg, tie him up in there, keep his eyes open. Does he have a pen or a computer, or does he just have to use his voice?
It's a computer, so maybe little straps on each finger for each key. That'd be good.
That'd be good. His hands are like locked down to the key.
Perfect.
Okay. then what does he write when he's there? Does he say, fuck you, get me out of here? What does he do?
When he's strapped down, I suppose he's going to be, oh wow. For wrong answers, he'll be writing about two people stuck in a room with him.
There's two people stuck in the room, and me and you are stuck in the room, and then what happens? Do we fight? Do we make love? Do we scream together? What do we do? These two people.
We could do all of those things.
We could do all those things. We're crazy. We get all the wrong answers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Get all the wrong answers, and then we put them together, and they become something beautiful.
Oh, the beauty comes out of the wrong answers. I totally understand what you're saying. By the way, the wrong answers are so good. Here's what I know about the wrong answers. The wrong answers are not randomly wrong. Whenever a person comes up with a wrong answer, it's a very specific wrong answer. That's what I know. Because here's a game. Okay, here's a game. I'll show you how it works. Okay, Alan, tell me a lie about yourself.
Oh man, I'm 4'5".
Wow. Okay, now let's imagine that I had magic and I could really turn you into 4.4. What did you say? I'm 4.5?
4'5".
4'5".
Yeah.
Let's imagine I could actually turn you into a person who was 4'5". Okay, now you got to become an actor. What would it be like to be 4'5" if I did that?
Well, immediately it would be. I would feel squashed. I'd feel very compact and concentrated. I'd have a great waddle. I've got very long legs, so I think all the compression would probably end up in the legs.
That's really good. You'd waddle. You'd feel compact, solid, compact, and then squash. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know that feeling? Feeling like you're compact and squashed?
Yeah, normally.
Yeah.
Because I'm big. If I'm on a plane or something, or just in the subway or anywhere crowded, and I feel I have to crush myself just to not take up too much space.
Some part of you really likes crushing you, by the way. It's one of the things, you know.
Yeah.
You have to play with that crusher, you know. You got to play with that crusher because he ain't going away just yet. So we have to invite him into the writing process, into the theater. I think I don't know that you get rid of him yet, but we see. Yeah. What would you say if you were that 4.5-foot person and I said, I'm gonna crush you, make you do what I want to do. I don't give a shit if you never write a damn thing. In fact, I don't want you to write a damn thing. That's why I'm crushing you. I'm hoping I'm gonna snuff you out. What would you say?
Oh man, I just want to rail against that. I want to burst up and flick him along my way.
Okay, you be the crusher again. We're going back to the same thing we were doing before, but we're playing with it now. You be the crusher. I'll be Alan. I'll be 4.5 foot. 4.5 foot.
And you're just going to stay down there, aren't you? You're just going to stay down there and be small for me?
You hate me, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Are you jealous of me?
I just don't understand you.
You don't? Well, why don't you ask me the fucking question, you big idiot?
All right, then. What do you want to do? What's all this for?
I want to punch you in the face for telling me all the bullshit all my life.
And why are you so cowardly to do it?
I'm going to do it right now. I think you're a loser. I think you didn't get to write, so you hate me and you don't want anybody else to write because you're jealous and you would make you feel bad about it. I think that you like bullying me, and if you didn't have somebody to pick on, you would feel like a worthless piece of shit. How's that for a punch in the face? Mm-hmm.
You think you know everything, don't you?
I do know everything.
You think you know everything. You think I'm lazy, I'm depressed, I'm the loser, I'm procrastinator. You don't seem to have a problem with making up your opinions.
Well, so far I've been proved right. Where's your proof?
You make me laugh. I think you're a silly character. You almost got me to get serious for a moment, but I know if I get serious with you and I stop playing, then the best I can do is put up a wall and block you out. But your way won't work. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to turn you into some kind of a monster and write about you. I'm going to put you in my theater. I'm going to make you a jester. I'm going to make you into a monster. I'm going to turn you into a piece of wood. I'm going to do something to you. What you thinking?
Oh, give it your best shot.
You don't give up very easily, do you? You stay with it. I like how determined you are. Give it your best shot. You take yourself very seriously, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to take life more seriously, but then I realized that I wasn't playing enough and that I was not getting the wrong answers. And the best part of life happens by looking through the places you're not supposed to go. And that's where the authentic things come from. And you know those writers you want me to be like? That's how they got there. All the ones I love, that's how they got there. They didn't try to imitate. Otherwise, their writing became dead. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, we both know it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to think with you just for a second before we close up, because we could go further. Just in terms of the problem, my thoughts about it. You need an environment. You need a different environment for the writing. I'm not sure what that environment's going to be. It could be with others, because other people could be part of that. If not, if not, it's gonna have to be different than the setup you have, even physically. I would, if you're gonna try writing in the room, you got to make that room more playful.
Okay.
Yeah. Do weird.
Feels good. Yeah.
You have to do things, and you might need other people because you're bringing in other people. I'm not sure how you would do that. And then I would consider not sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah. And that just comes to me because of movement. Because if you sit too still, that inner critic's going to come, and you're going to get mesmerized. You're not going to even know it's there. You're just going to feel like I'm procrastinating. You're not going to know it's there, because the first part of the play is to know it's there. Does that make sense? You have to know it's there, and you have to know why the wall is coming up, and then you have to get out of that environment. That's the harder step. Seeing it is the first step. I got it. I see why I become a solid wall and immovable. I see why I wouldn't write a word, because I'm not going to fucking write a word for you in your way. You got to get that about yourself. So it's unshaming. And then this next step, that's where you're needing more help. What is this other environment? What's more play? What are the wrong answers? Can I try something totally crazy and different today? That's needing some space. I'm not sure how you get all that, but I know it needs some space. I would just try being creative. Stand up, walk, go outside and talk into your phone, put flowers up, eat fruit. I really mean do all kinds of weird things. Because lots of writers that I love writing, lots of writers that I follow have had weird things. Like I've always liked, do you know the poet Rainier Maria Rilke?
No, I know. I've heard of her, but yeah.
He had a standing desk, and it always had to have a bowl of lemons on the desk, right? Maya Angelou, who was one of my favorite writers, she had a beautiful brownstone in New York, and she would go to a hotel room and write, and then come back home at 3 o'clock and make dinner. So like, Elizabeth Allende, she would go away for months somewhere. So Kieran says, smear yourself with chocolate. People had weird things that they did to try to get them out of that space.
Yeah.
It's an altered, I call that altering your state. A lot of people use substances to do that. I'm not suggesting that's right or wrong. It's a thought, though. I'm not suggesting to do it, but it's a possibility because people have used substances, many different people, to get out of that state. Some women people like Virginia Woolf, they had to wait till a parent died for that room, that critic, that sense of how they have to be changed. So I'm just saying how deep the problems. People like have creatively wrestled with this thing. And then she had to create a room of one's own, but it couldn't be the room that was part of the living parent. You had to wait till the parent literally dies. So people have, it's quite a struggle to be a genuine artist, have a genuine voice. It's a worthy thing. It's a huge thing. It's not something like, oh, I should just have a genuine voice. That is not real. For moments it is, for sure. But the struggle and the finding your way out, and you have the great beginning. You know you want to. Don't be confused about that. You know there's a wall that won't be something else. That's amazing. You know the pain of being turned something else. That's amazing. Write about that fucking pain. That's worth writing about a shitload. And then you know there's another world that you're looking for. It's got people and an environment and play and wrong answers. That's a very creative, live space. Anyway, I'm just seeing the process of how you describing the steps that you took me on back to you and for other people.
Yeah.
That
makes a lot of sense. That feels really good, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. It's hard for me to give up because I want to get you all the way, but we have whatever 50-40 minutes and this is as good as we can get, but the inside will be good. Unshaming, that means not looking at yourself as a procrastinator, lazy, you don't really want to do it. Taking that view away will open up a lot of doors. It's just not true. Not because I think it's not true, because you showed me it was not true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's genuine neurointelligence. Yeah. Alan, thank you very much for hanging with me, and I call it dreaming, unshaming with me, and doing that live and letting me learn with you and from you about creativity. Yeah, it's inspiring to me. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I was, I didn't know what to expect for this. This was actually a really good process. I really liked it. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And thank everybody for coming and hanging out with us and just following another person. UnShaming says, I don't have an answer. I don't know how you should be creative. I don't know why you have an inner critic. I don't know that you should be more confident. I don't know that you shouldn't be down. I don't know that you shouldn't be locked up. UnShaming says, inside of you, if I believe in you, inside of the difficulty, in this case it was the difficulty of the critic, there's answers. Inside the critic, there's a wall. Inside the wall, there's honesty. Inside the wall, there's a desire to do new things. So UnShaming has that viewpoint. And the reason why I find it more sustainable than giving you my advice about what you should do is because that way, that information that we learn lives inside of you. So I know it will take. It's already in you. It's not David's way. It's your way. So that's what the beauty of doing unshaming work. It's sustainable. It's your answer. It's your wrong answer, not David's wrong answer. And your wrong answer is going to be the right answer. Anyway, yeah. Somebody's asking a question, then I'll answer that. And then somebody says, Dave, what do you do when a client triggers you? I guess you'd have to say more about that. Vato Calvin. What do I do when a client triggers you? I guess I'd have to see how they trigger me. Good for the monthly medicine. Yeah, I do something called monthly medicine. It's $45 a month. It's a low pay compared to this, which is a no pay. And then people ask questions, and I work with people on all kinds of difficulties. It's usually about 2.5 to 3 hours. If I get triggered and I can't get through it, everybody, by a client, then I have to work on myself. Then I have to finish the session and go talk to somebody who could help me with my trigger. And if that session still has a fair amount of time and I can't get out of it, then I have to tell the person, my awareness is no longer big enough and clear enough to see you clearly. I need to go work on myself so that I can offer you something. Because if I'm only triggered, now if I have a little room so that I can witness, I can unshame my trigger, then I can make creative use of it. I can say, oh, I'm triggered. So a part of me gets really angry. Okay, let's say I was really angry with you. And then I can play it, you see, friends, and see how it belongs to that person's process. And it will. But if I'm only locked into it, I really am hate this person. I really am in love with this person. That's a trigger also. If that only happens, then I'm going to be a little bit blind. I'm no longer ethically able to do that particular session, in my view. But if I'm triggered and I'm light enough to play with it, to bring it in, to explore it myself out loud with the person, to make it into a role in the field, then it can become useful. And that's a thought, everybody. All right, everybody. See you soon. Thanks again. Alan, great meeting you.
Great to meet you too. Thank you.
Kieran, thank you for bringing Alan. Talk to you all soon. Bye.